All right, everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil. We've got a lot to talk about today. The episode content is here. We've got the Kessel Run coming tomorrow, I believe. So, a lot of new stuff. There's some really good things here. I don't want to be that content creator that this is all bad. There is some very good stuff here. But there's definitely some stuff that came with these updates that I think is bad for the game, or that is really driving a wedge between the players spending and the players who aren't. And there's been a lot of silence from Capital Games so far. And I know that this is new and fresh, but if you go on the forums, I mean, they're getting lit up. Like, it's not pretty on the forums, and people are leaving in droves. And that's not a good thing when you release an update that's intended to be great content. And I think the problem was you spun this as this opportunity for everyone to get additional content, but then 90% of it is gated, not just behind like spending for the episode pass, but wailing on marquees, which we'll get to. So yes, like there's good, there's bad. We're going to try to cover it all. Let's give a shout out to our channel members again for their continued support. Ever interested, link down below. More importantly, guys, link to the Discord. Go join there. The Discord's awesome. So many great conversations happening there. Thank you guys again for all that. I really can't thank you enough for just, continuing to keep this channel afloat. You all are fantastic. Let's get in here. Let's talk about all this new stuff. All right, so let's start out with, I think, the most significant change that's amazing for the free-to-play community. So I did all of my daily quests, but the change here is 600 tickets is now able to be completed using any of the kinds of energy. Mod, Cantina, regular energy, fleet energy, doesn't matter. It all contributes to your 600. Now that's really important because one of the areas that this makes so much easier is Galactic Legend ticket farming. See, before, you still need to be able to hit 600 every day. And then as you were farming towards that Galactic Legend, you couldn't really save your regular energy. You couldn't hoard this because you need to be able to hit your 600 and you can't just spend it all in the Cantina. So you'd have to spend your regular energy. Well, now, as you're closing in on getting that Galactic Legend, what you're going to be able to do is start hoarding your regular energy if all you need is, say, signal data, right? Like if you're going through this and you're like, hey, I just need signal data and I'm done. I have all the shards. I have all the Chirotechs. I just need signal data for them. Start hoarding that regular energy. And you're going to be able to blast through the Galactic Legend event that much faster because you can still hit all of your daily quests without spending your regular energy. You can still hit your 600. You can bank it, save it for your Galactic Legend tickets, and just blow through the event. And I think that is a massive, massive update. I love the new daily quest system. It's so much faster. You don't feel like okay, got to do regular, got to do Cantina, got to do, like you're going to do all that anyway, but just kind of making it all at once. And the same thing goes for collecting your energy. Kind of just putting one button here that you go in and collect, I think is great. It's silly, but it's just a nice quality of life thing that I click this button and boom, I get all my energy all at once. I love seeing that. It's really, really nice. Yeah, your daily login rewards, I think this is still, again, very good. It's very similar to what it was before. Nothing crazy there. Now, let's talk about the episode pass, right? The episode track rewards. The free track down here, I've already made some progress, and some of that is due to I do always go in and buy the Hu Yang shards, the new marquee shards. I at least get enough of those packs to be able to do the, if we go to the marquee system here, I at least get down to the tier 3 where I get additional shards and Chirotech. I've been doing that pretty consistently. I found it to be helpful. I, again, am in a much later stage of the game where my bonus crystals I have a lot more freedom with. So, obviously not making it down here where I'm getting him to 5-star, but I at least get him to 4 stars, which is obviously, a nice little bonus, right? Definitely not going to be able to get him to 5-star, though. It's just not going to happen. Which, new marquee system, I do love the way that this looks. I think it's just it's very clean to me. I like that, the graphic here is really nice. You can view the offers and go get your Hu Yang shards here. Like, some of this stuff that came in here, I really do like. I think this looks nice. But back to the overall episode pass itself. I think the track here, again, very similar to Conquest. I'm surprised that it's taken Galaxy of Heroes this long to add something like this to the game because a lot of other games have this system. The free track, listen, it's free rewards. you're going to be able to earn this stuff, and then you can use that currency to be able to purchase the rewards that you otherwise would have been getting from galactic challenges. Now, there is kind of a caveat here. Similar to the situation with the raid change, the rewards you're purchasing here, right? When you get this stuff and you're earning these rewards, what you need to remember is that this is your intention with this currency is to spread the wealth, right? That you would get Omicrons, you would get Omegas, you would get Kyrotech, you would get mods, you would get Injector Salvage, Character Shards, mod materials, you'd get a lot of stuff. You wouldn't get the relic materials, which is nice they added this. You wouldn't get, I don't think we got micro attenuators, but you'd get other stuff. So I want to make sure that we understand that the intention of this currency is that you're spreading it between all these various things. Now, that's not going to happen because there's some of the stuff that we didn't need. Other thing here, though, that I will say is a negative is when you look at the mods, all of these would get added to my account. Like this tenacity mod down here. I'm not going to purchase this, but if this showed up in my inventory, I absolutely would upgrade it. But I'm not going to purchase it because I'm too picky. So I definitely will say that I'm not going to get as many okay mods because the galactic challenges, I would at least upgrade all of them because you may as well. Now, like, it's going to take a very special mod for me to actually upgrade it out of here because it's the same way I am in this mod store itself, that I don't just take these random mods and hope that they roll speed. Like, they've got to have good stuff. So just bear that in mind as you're trying to go through the game, that if you were somebody who was getting these mods regularly, you're going to need to make sure that you're kind of purchasing them and just keeping up with what they were giving you, because it is going to be important, right? So yes, while giving you the freedom to make your own purchases in here, make sure you're understanding that you don't do what a lot of players were doing initially with the, their currency here, that everyone was buying arrow magnifiers or other stuff, and then you realize, like, crap, I don't have any of the resources I need to, relic my characters or purchase the, electrum conductors. Like, all of that has to kind of go in, and it's the same thing with this currency, that make sure you're buying everything kind of equally and maintaining a good inventory, so that way you don't end up in a situation where you've got a million of these materials and none of this stuff, right? So I do want to, mention that. It's a good change, but it's one of those changes that it's good, but it's going to take some organization on your part. Now, the episode pass itself. For $20, I think this is absurd value. I will tell you guys that I will be purchasing this $20 pass. I can't complain because I've said for a long time, Capital Games has needed to give us high value packs that don't cost an arm and a leg. And for $20, the rewards that this gives you access to is crazy. And more importantly, it opens up a lot of these quests that are otherwise locked, right, in the episode here. Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think that the lengths they went to gate things behind the marquee and the episode pass is a bit ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know that I'm a huge fan of it for your average player, right? I think the average player, this is a big problem because you're just like, you're not going to be able to really get these. You're going to be making so much less progress than someone who has that ability to spend the money. And that has even bled into the new Galactic Challenge system, where, yet again, there's literally a win the battle with the episode pass. Like, this to me pissed me off more than anything else. Because this is just so, like, literally just, like, spend money. And then even at the later tiers, you end up needing to win with a 7-star Hu Yang. Like, it's just a double slap in the face to me. Like, slap me on the right, slap me on the left, Put one of these things in here, not both. Or add an element where it's win with Hu Yang surviving or something. Like, just, it feels way too much on the side of, hey, you need to be spending all the money in the game to be able to get rewards. And even if that, like, episode pack, if you're doing it free to play, even if it's getting you to the same place that you were before, which I think it is if you're playing the game consistently and able to do everything that they require of you, like, you're going to be able to get to the same place as you were before. It's just the fact that you can see it, right? Like, that you can see, like, you've always been able to see this, but think about going in and, like, seeing the fact that, oh, if I had more shards of Hu Yang, I'd have all of this done. Like, look at all these extra points I'm leaving on the table. Like, it's definitely a little bit of like a FOMO thing that they're doing here. That they're making sure that you see just how devastating it is to not whale. And then, I mean, coming down here and seeing you've got 12,000 points on the table to be able to, get these things. Like, it feels very much like this first iteration so far with all the things that we've gotten is buy the pass, buy the characters, or basically just be free to play. And there was a really funny meme that I want to share with you guys around that Galactic Challenge that I thought was great. So, win with a full squad of Rebel Fighters. Credit card information. Provide the credit card number provided on the back of your card. Enter 3-digit code on the back of your card. Win and accept. Complete the battle and input credit card's expiry date, then hit accept transaction to complete the battle. Like, just this is the vibe that we're getting from this, right? It's just, hey, pay to win, pay to win, pay to win. And like I said, the community on here, I mean, if you guys can see some of the titles, I mean, it's not pretty. Less than fair. Quitting. Earnings. Big middle finger to everyone. You've finally done it. Have they removed prestigious quests? Like, time to boycott. I understand adversity to change. However, at a loss, this will ruin the game for me. Like, there's just so many things. This is just page 1 of the forums there. Like, it very much feels as if the player base is really at a dangerous point right now with this change. And this should have been an amazing change. This should have been something that we were all excited for. And I was. And you're just like, oh, man, I don't know. And then I'm not going to lie. Then it kind of just like piles on more stuff because we're getting the new Kessel Run event starting tomorrow, right? And again, that Kessel Run event is, hey, our new rewards program, Kessel Run, will be replacing the 5% discount on the web store with a rewards system. For those of you who wish to continue participating in the 5% discount, you still have access to it on the PC client. We look forward to hearing your feedback, so please reach out to us. And I want to say this. Reach out, like, regardless of whether it's positive or you're like, this is the worst thing ever. Tell them, say, listen, I'm not happy about this. I feel like I'm being cheated. I feel like you're giving too much advantage to pay to play. Hey, I'm someone who buys these things. I love it. Keep them coming. Like, whatever your feedback is, let them know. So they do say, hey, there are free ways for us to earn coaxium. Logging into the web store daily. Complete all daily quests. Make shipment purchases weekly can earn you coaxium. But really, it's going to be, hey, and I think there's more rewards than these 10 here. But, like, basically, it's, hey, spending money. And I think what, like, bothered me about this one is they're taking away that 5% discount on the web store. And they're like, oh, we're replacing it with a reward system. It's like, well, why not just keep the 5% discount and add the reward system? Like, it really feels like a massive money grab, right? Like, 5% discount is absolutely piss poor. It's nothing, right? Like, that is like 5% is just, it blows my mind that they're like, oh yeah, we should, like, a 5%, I'm sorry. I just can't stand that they're removing 5%. Like, 5% is, you've got bigger fish to fry. Like, go fix frickin' Datacrons. So, with all of that said, guys, what should you do? Is this pass worth it? I'm going to tell you that, number one, these new character quests, if you're somebody who purchases the, episode pass, I would definitely consider at least getting your new marquees to 4 stars, right? Purchasing, like, it's going to take you a little bit more work, but I think it will pay off because of all the extra quests it opens up. If you're free to play, listen, you're going to have to take advantage of every little thing that you can do to get the best rewards possible. And a lot of that is going to hinge on galactic challenges, which maybe is going to become a more important part of this game, that you're going to have to be able to remove 400 turn meter. You're going to have to be able to get the full Rebel Fighter Squad done. Make sure you do the little battles here with that marquee active at whatever star level you can get to earn any extra bits. You're going to have to really squeeze yourself. And I think that's where I got frustrated, is that the whole thing was, oh, this could save you time and yada, 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 when it really feels like they're just squeezing more time out of you to make sure that you nail every little quest that happens to be in the game. So I said myself, I will be purchasing the episode pass here. Pass Plus, to me, I don't think this is worth it for a player like myself. I think it's pretty expensive. Who I think this benefits a lot are, hey, you don't feel like playing the game that much. 50,000 extra points is great. Or a player who, if you're kind of a whale in that middle, and I say whale, right? You're somebody who has the disposable income. You like spending money on the game, and you're kind of looking at it from that angle of, hey, I don't have quite the roster size to fill to be able to get all these galactic challenges done. I'm going to miss out on a lot of that free quest points. Maybe this becomes a little bit more worth it. That 50,000, that's a pretty big jump. That's huge. But it is very expensive, And then these rewards down here, the thing is, this is not extra rewards. This is just what you're going to earn upon getting those 50,000 episode points. So the only difference between this here and this here is you get an additional 50,000 points. So it really, the point system, they're valuing that at about $20. So take that for what it's worth, guys. Then, as you look up here, the rewards, again, for $20, I think for what you can earn up here, there's some insane stuff. Like, you think Chirotech, they normally sell those for about $5, and you've got plenty of opportunity to get there. Your relic materials, that stuff, there's some really good value here in terms of you can get pretty far. That $20 is, well spent. And then, again, you can continue to complete this to receive additional rewards. I don't know how often that's going to be able to happen. Like, I'll be very curious. I would assume for your Mega Krakens, they'll be able to get that because they'll have Hu Yang. They'll, if you purchase Pass Plus, stuff like that. So, kind of curious to see how that all pans out. But again, some negative, some positive. I'm going to be more positive than I think other people. Listen, if you're free to play, I don't know that this changes all that much about what you were doing before. If you were spending money, this changes a lot because there's more ways for you to spend your money and get a significant advantage over those who were free. So if you're free, I don't want to say that this isn't a nerf of the free to play. This is more of a buff to the pay to play, right? Similar to like the Leviathan and comparative, punishing one and profundity. Like, they didn't nerf any ships when that Leviathan change came in. They just made Leviathan better. And so that's what they're doing with this change, is that they didn't change you if you're free to play. But if you're a whale, they made it much better for you. That's my opinion on it. You guys let me know what you think. Am I off the mark here? Am I crazy? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Again, I very much appreciate you all sticking with me through this time. It's just been had a lot going on, so appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.